We've been doing movie nights for
years.
Gen Xer and
Gen Z.
I hate these ones because they're blue. I hate those, formal uniforms because they're white. Who makes a formal uniform white? Somebody get me in touch with the costume director.
And he crashes them.
Yes, you do. I'm very much in that transition period between, teenage years and adult years. Mm-hmm. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
That's the thing. I don't think we have to leave that behind when we're grown.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk. This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew.
And we have returned.
So this week it is Movie Wheel of Boom.
Yay!
And this was one that's kind of been coming for a little while here.
Yeah, a while back you mentioned to me that you haven't seen a lot of what age was it particularly?
Well, I mean, a lot of the DreamWorks stuff from the early 2000s. I've seen all of the Shrek movies.
Yeah.
But not the spin-offs or anything like that.
And this week, I made him watch through Puss in Boots. This is a classic 2011 movie that everybody has seen, apparently, except for you!
Well, like I said, I didn't see any of the... I never managed to get out to any of the sequels. And Puss in Boots is a very different movie from the Shrek movies. But we'll get into that in a second. So, can you kind of walk us through a synopsis on this?
I can certainly try. Essentially, we follow, Puss in Boots. He is an outlaw on the run from, soldiers and such for, stealing money a while back. The adventure kind of follows him. He reconnects with an old friend, Humpty Dumpty, who is also evil.
Brother.
Yeah, with his foster mom, who's also evil. And, oh, dang, I can't even remember the girl cat's name.
Silky Paws, something
Soft
like
Paws
that.
or something like
yes.
that. The three of them are working together to get a pair of magic beans from Jack and Jill in order to get up to... What is it? The castle in the sky in order to,
wait, no, that's
steal
a different...
golden eggs.
I thought Castle in the Sky was a whole different movie.
No, that is a different movie. I forget what it's called. The Jack and the Beanstalk. Dude, I'm so tired. I can't remember all these freaking fairy tales. But we go into the sky. We're trying to get golden eggs, but then we end up stealing the bird. And Mama comes looking for her bird, and everything almost gets destroyed. And it's kind of a wild ride.
It's very weird. I actually did want to see this. I was enthusiastic about exploring this a little bit because I like Antonio Bandaras. I like him as an actor, and I like him in a variety of stuff. I've seen him in all sorts of things, but I really love him as Zorro.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that you were excited for in this.
Well, I mean, that's where Puss in Boots really comes from. At least this version, this Shrek universe version, this is really heavily based on Antonio Bandaras as Zorro. And he only got to do 2 movies. The second one, the sequel's not quite as good as the first, but the first is absolutely amazing. We did do that one. We did watch that one.
Yeah.
And I also have a long-standing history and love of old characters.
Yeah.
Of classic heroes and stuff like that. The stuff that was really before my generation. So, my father's heroes, my grandfather's heroes. So I will spend ages and ages going through the Shadow and the Green Hornet. I'm currently on a really weird Dick Tracy fixation, going through all the films. There's more than you think. And like the serials and the Lost television show. And so Zorro fits right in with that. In fact, back when Dynamite was doing a series called Masks, they're bringing together all of these characters, anything that's in the public domain and anything that they can get the license to, and bring them all together. It's really a lot of fun. They even managed to cross Zorro over with the Lone Ranger.
Really?
Yeah.
What did that interaction look like?
It's interesting because there's a rescue there, and just it's part of the legacy, and a really interesting way to integrate those storylines.
Huh.
So I have really positive feelings towards Puss in Boots, towards this version of this character, and I went into this really, really wanting to like this.
Oh no.
Well, like I said, it's very different from the Shrek movies.
Yeah, even like going back through this, because like I said, this was one of the movies that your parents had, that me and Lydia would always watch.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what? Because I know what's going to happen in this whole movie. I watched it enough times at their house to know everything about it. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, this is so much weirder than I remember.
It is, but it's also, it takes itself kind of seriously.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm going through here and I'm wanting more gags. I'm also wanting, like, hidden meanings to things. And I think I'm looking for more than what this is willing to give. Like, okay, so Humpty introduces himself as Humpty Alexander Dumpty. Why Alexander? Like, it is never explained. This is just dropped to be like a middle name. And it's just, why? What? I do not understand.
Maybe it's like Alexander the Great or something.
Well, I was wondering if it was Alexander Dumas who who created the Three Musketeers.
That's
or,
hilarious.
more importantly, the Count of Monte Cristo. Which, that is a story about, it's a prison story. About somebody who's wrongly imprisoned and comes out and plots his revenge on everybody. Now, I mean, that's me painting it in very broad strokes, but that's the closest thing that I can come to trying to figure out why is it Humpty Alexander? Why is it San Ricardo? What are the choices on these names? Where are they coming from? Or are they just pulling them out of a hat? And I don't know. I kind of think they're just pulling them out of a hat.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to have any more depth of thought there, which is a little bit of a disappointment, because in Shrek, everything seems to have thought behind it.
Yeah.
It's visual gags. It is satire. It's constant wordplay, very clever wordplay. And this,
I think they more so lean into the cat puns in this one.
a little bit, yeah. I don't know. Shrek was designed for, like, everybody. Shrek's a very adult comedy.
Yeah.
And this feels a lot more like it was meant for kids. Like it was designed to be safer and a lot more watered down. They'll throw in something a little bit off color for the adults here and there, but it doesn't feel like this. It's not as edgy.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
They don't take as many chances with this. Even with some of the fight scenes and such, like, we get dance battles instead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like...
I know, I'm looking at this and thinking, has Guardians of the Galaxy already come out yet or not? And it's 2011.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that's what's influencing this, especially since this took forever to make. This took years and years and years. It had a long gestation period.
I mean, like, with some... When we were on the beanstalk falling down, some of the animation on that fur, though, especially on the girl, like, where you could just see the subtle of the air, I could see it!
Yeah.
I mean, fur is hard to animate!
Well, that's why DreamWorks was really founded, to push those boundaries and push the edge of that. And I think it's interesting, too, that this actually didn't do well compared to other DreamWorks movies.
Really?
It's one of the lower ones, despite the fact that it was released Halloween weekend, and it actually was one of the highest grossing films ever released on Halloween weekend at that time.
Oh, man.
It like knocked Saw out of
Really?
out of the running as highest grossing Halloween weekend movie. So on one hand, it's doing really well, and on another hand, but by another standard, not as much. And again, I can't help but wonder if that's due to like trying to make a more broad appeal, trying to make it more of a kids thing than an adult thing. I don't know. It just...
Because, like, that's the thing. We also got a second one called The Last Wish, which I'm also kind of sort of familiar with.
Mm-hmm. I thought we'd gotten a couple of them. I mean, it's not like there's...
Got, like, a series... What is that?
Mm-hmm. It's not like it exists in a vacuum. I believe also later on we lose Antonio Bandaras. So somebody else starts to voice the character just because it was more cost efficient to do that.
Yeah, poor guy. But no, I don't think this would work without him, to be honest.
He brings a whole lot to that, and you can really see he's having fun with it. But then again, that comes back to the whole Zorro thing. That's the kind of person he is. He loves that material. Bandaras is a family man. This is a man who left acting for a while to stay home with his kids.
Yeah.
So I respect him a whole lot, but then again, this is some of what he could do then too. So this is not a labor-intensive project for an actor.
No, and it's just like this is a multiverse for Zorro. This is just like, what if everyone was cats?
But I mean, it's not that everyone is cats, though.
Well, not
it's
everyone is cats.
It's taking place in the real world, so we've got a lot of human beings wandering around here. I mean, it's the Muppets.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nobody's surprised by the talking animals. But again, I don't know, it's almost incongruent. Because like in Shrek, they're astonished by the talking donkey, magical creature. So I wonder if we're even in that same universe.
We are in the same universe.
It just doesn't feel like it.
I mean, I think it's more so we're in different places. I mean,
I suppose.
Because we see Puss in Boots in some of the Shrek movies. I remember something a while back of like them making sure to cross it over because it does take place in the same universe.
Yes, and you know what? At one point there you actually see the book Puss in Boots on the shelf in one of the Shrek movies.
Right.
So it's almost like, could this be a fanciful retelling of that? I don't know.
I mean, I do believe that our friendly cat might have exaggerated himself a bit in the storybook.
By the way, when the black cat first shows up as they're going to steal magic beans, I called that being a girl. I knew it. I knew it was going to be... There's a lot of this, though, that I felt like you could predict what's going to happen next. And the girl cat actually looks like one of our cats. It looks like Bugs. That looks like our girl cat. Bugs were afraid to, like, declaw her because...
oh, not dealing with that again. No,
yeah,
no.
We're not doing anesthesia again because when we did try...
Poor thing. She had such a bad reaction to it. She went blind for a few days.
She almost died. Actually, she did die on the table, and they brought her back.
That was terrifying. We are
really
never doing that again.
Well, and that wasn't even to declaw her. That was to fix her.
Yeah.
So no, we're still going through mood swings once a month, and
at least she loves us when she's going through the mood swings because she doesn't like us when she's not.
Well, that may be because we sent her all out to almost get killed.
Oh no!
You mentioned the dance fight too, and I'm looking at this and like, okay, this is a trope for kids' cartoons. Again, this is me pointing us back to, man, this thing feels just awfully childish, awfully kid-friendly, despite the fact that it's taking itself so seriously. But you know what? The whole dance thing, that's an integral part in The Mask of Zorro, too.
Really? It's been a while since we've seen it.
If you recall, though, there's at one point to get the attention of the bad guy. Don't let him leave the table without you. Zorro, in his guise as a young noble, finds his daughter and goes through the whole party, the whole hall, in a dance with her. The sword fight between Zorro and the daughter in that movie is also choreographed very much like a dance.
Huh.
So, as silly as that might be, and they do push it past over the line into silliness, but at the same time, it feels appropriate for these characters, for what we're watching, for who they are. So I do like seeing some of that. I also think it's really interesting that it's not just, okay, it is Jack and the Beanstalk, it is magic beans growing into, but it's more complicated than that. Mm-hmm. You have to find a specific place at a specific time and a specific light. And I really enjoyed the fact that they went further with that.
Yeah, they put a bit of effort into making you actually, use effort in order to get what you want.
It's just, they're giving it a little bit of gravitas. I mean, how do you make a giant beanstalk dramatic? We've seen it too much. It's
good
a
little
trope.
Plant.
Not just that, but like the funnel cloud coming down from the sky.
The
sky's
cool.
darkening and the wind rising and boom down onto it. I think that's, again, somebody's really trying to make something interesting. It's almost like somebody's trying to make their bones here, trying to prove, okay, let's make something incredible. And then there's another faction that's like, no, we're just doing a direct-to-video kids movie. And it was supposed to be direct-to-video, and they changed their mind because, well, no, it's a DreamWorks. We've got to release it in theaters somehow. We'll bury it at Halloween, but we got to do it somewhere.
Of course.
It's fascinating to me how little information there is about this movie. Like, IMDb has next to nothing. And I have so many questions. I want to know why. I want to know why we're choosing, who we're choosing, where we're going with what we're going. Can we talk a little bit about the climax and the monster?
Yeah, they did a really good job of not showing you what the monster was throughout it.
Right, I really wasn't sure. So they're up looking for the golden goose, which is just a little duckling.
He's just a little Why?
I mean, it's a fluffy yellow. I mean, it's kind of giant. I mean, it's bigger than the cats. So, but still, it's just a fluffy little duckling.
He's adorable.
And there's all sorts of legends about whatever guards it. We're not sure what it is. Nobody's ever come back alive.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it turns you to stone. Maybe it devours you whole. Maybe it... Well, so they kidnap the goose because the eggs are too heavy.
Because of course.
They're going to crash the economy with all that gold, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I can't help but think that. I mean, when gold's that rare and plentiful, it'd be like, what if we adopted leaves as the national currency? We'll all become millionaires. But then that means like a single peanut would cost 30,000 leaves.
The lumberjacks will be the most powerful people.
So they've got the golden goose. It's golden goosing and golden eggs everywhere.
Mm-hmm. All the people have eggs. All of them have gold.
And then the monster comes down.
Yeah.
And the monster it's a giant goose.
Yeah. And you almost immediately called out as people are saying, "Oh no, the mother's here."
Yes. The monster is Mother Goose.
How great is that, though? How awesome is that, though?
I mean, we really have been going through Mother Goose fairy tales through this entire thing. So, yes, Mother Goose is the shadow over all of it.
She just wants her baby back. But I love the mixture of the fairy tales in this.
And it's just rampaging through. Well, slowly rampaging. Geese are not in a hurry. If you've ever been late to work on a rainy day, yeah, you can tell geese are not in a hurry. Nevertheless, it's crashing through buildings and terrifying people, and it's a whole new level of mess with the honk, get the bonk.
Yeah.
It's... If it weren't for the claws on those webbed feet, that's what really makes it terrifying. Because otherwise, it's just...
An oversized goose.
An oversized silly goose. It just looks like a silly goose.
Exactly.
Humpty sacrifices himself at the end. Turns out there was a gold egg inside him all along. And, well, actually now...
Wait a minute.
So, is there more going on here?
Dude.
Is there some sort of existential story here? Is he drawn to the golden... Is it more than just greed and revenge? Is there something fundamental in his nature?
Is he an egg that never hatched?
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
We don't know because the movie is not interested in exploring any of this. But there's so much of this that you could. And that, again, I'm like, I feel like there's two different hands at work here.
Yeah.
One that's got a much broader idea and mythology that they want to explore, and one that just wants to get this kids movie out and off the boards and off the books, and it's so hard to reconcile that sometimes. Like I said, I really wanted to like this. I went into this really enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I was bored.
Yeah, I'll admit, I was kind of bored throughout this, too.
There's just too much of it that is...
Like, this movie is very childish, and I definitely think that adds to the fact that, like... And even me, I can sit and watch an old animated film any day, but I was bored out of my mind watching this.
Well, because it's childish, but it's not funny childish.
That's true. It's just...
Good kids' humor doesn't have to be bland or stupid or broad.
Yeah.
In fact, the best kids' humor is there's a reason why Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny are these timeless characters. There's something... It's not necessarily talking down to you. There's just something more going on.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that the Uncle Scrooge adventures, the stuff that inspires DuckTales, is considered some of the greatest comic book literature of all time. The Carl Barks Duck stories are fundamental to a lot of adventure storytelling. And I think the reason why I'm frustrated here, the reason why I'm holding this to such a higher standard, is because this comes from Shrek. And even though Shrek gets watered down as time goes by, Shrek, especially that first one, is some brilliant filmmaking. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the people I went to see that with, we were all adults. We were all adults, out of college, starting, and it's... we didn't go to see it with any kids. So there's... For a spin-off from that, I'm inclined to hold it to a higher standard. And this just doesn't reach.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have squeezed about every drop of commentary we can out of Puss in Boots.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of stuff to talk about with this one.
No, but it's kind of like what you said. It's one that...
it's one that you needed to see, not necessarily one we needed to podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we got...
Well, it's still podcast.
We got a podcast out of it, and yeah, it's one that I needed to see. It's something that needed to be in my repertoire. So, I'm glad that I have. I probably am not going to revisit it or any of its sequels, but I'm glad that we finally got around to it, and this was a great reason, a great excuse to get to it.
Yeah, expect more like DreamWorks Disney stuff of this particular era. He hasn't seen a lot of it, so I'm gonna throw on some of my favorite stuff as well into the wheel because, well,
all the stuff that was basically on VHS tapes at my parents' house. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, those were like the classic ones I grew up with, like that weird Barbie movie that I still don't like. The Sky Ice Castle one. I don't know. People are gonna hate me because it's such a beloved one, but I hate that movie so much. Anyways, I think that's all we have to say about Puss in Boots. So we will see you guys next week. Bye.